Hey, this is Greg with Renewal Fast. We're going to do an unboxing of a new appliance for our vegetable, fruit, and raw kitchen that we're working on. I have to show you the old one we're replacing. This is our old Sunbeam, what is it called? Le Chef food processor. This was Michelle's mom's, and growing up, this thing is probably from the 70s or early 80s. It's a pretty good machine. I don't know what size this is, but I don't think it's a 14 cup, but it's a pretty good size. The problem is the safety broke, and so I jury-rigged it, and of course the problem then is that the thing will turn on even when the cup is not on here. What, you know, the whole point of a safety though is that it will only turn on when the cup is on there. And so this death blade, so the point is that the safety is gone. If I were to turn this on right now, this thing would spin. Every time we use it, it scares the hell out of me, and I'm afraid someone's going to lose an arm or a finger or face. And I think it's a valid concern because I literally repaired it for one-time use because it was Thanksgiving. We were actually preparing on Thanksgiving or Mother's Day or something last year, and it's a year later. So we finally are replacing it, and it's time to retire this guy. So goodbye, Le Chef. So we're replacing it with the Cuisinart made in China. But honestly, I was not. Alright, let's try this. So we're replacing it with this Cuisinart Classic Series. It's a model DFP 14N, made in China, 14 cup machine. Pretty much kind of what we had. We could have gone with a more high-end unit, but this was pretty good. We got this for $179 on Amazon. Thanks to Dan McDonald for the info. Let's see what we got here. Instructions and a spatula. This is the top of the container. Looks quite familiar with the old one. Looks like we have, what I like about this unit for this price is that you get the other chopping blades. I think we have to buy separately a holder for all these blades because I don't think it comes. Oh, we get the Cuisinart How-To DVD. There's the container. And here's the motor. Now, one of the things we were really hoping for, and I got to say right out of the box, literally, I'm pleased with the weight. This is a nice, heavy base. It has a pulse button and an on button. Nice, heavy base. Just to compare,
oh wow.
So just to compare the two, here's the new one. That's a 14 cup, and the old one. Not bad. But this must have been a pretty good size in its day. Maybe that was a 12. Not bad. Yeah. It's just, you know, you can see how ancient this is. But goodbye. Similar layout, right? You have the metal blade. You have a nice big container. Bowl lock, it says here. Bowl lock. And you see, that's the safety. When you click it, right, that's what lets it function. Oh, plus the top. There's another pin that if the top is not, it doesn't work. So that this thing doesn't come flying out and like impale you, you know? In my mind a lot. There we go. Beautiful. Looks like it has an inner hole for adding little, you can add it through the large hole, or here, let's see. Or a smaller one, or this, you see? For pushing stuff in and packing it in. It looks pretty good. And there's additional blades, okay? You've got these chopping blades, and they obviously sit on top of the stem, like this. It sits on the stem, and then the stem sits on here. So that when you do your chopping, that's going to do a grater, and that's going to grate as it pushes against the surface, which would be really nice. We haven't really been using those features on the old one. Very sharp blade. Read instruction booklet before using this disc. This disc slices so well because its blade is super sharp. Keep your fingers away from the cutting edge. Never pick up the disc by the blade. Never remove the work bowl cover until the disc has stopped turning. This is a totally sharp blade, right? That can cut my finger. I'm really excited to use these features. I'm really excited to use them. And then I don't know what this does, some kind of cutting that's made out of plastic. But I think we have everything we need right here to begin. The only thing I did not get is I did not buy the case that you store all these parts in. So we're probably just going to dump them in a drawer somewhere. Though that makes one think there's a reason for the case to avoid the dangers. But I guess this is the everyday blade. That's the everyday. And I mean, that's huge. But we're at the point now where everything we make, we're doing in bulk. So when we make something, we're making way more than we need and freezing it or storing it for later use. So this is, I don't think this is too big. It's me. Doesn't want to turn on. Something about the safety isn't right. So in an attempt to do a little startup, what we notice is that this isn't, in order to get it to turn on, you have to have this piece in. In other words, you can't add when it won't run when that's out. The size that you get that's for adding while it's running is this big. Whereas look at the old Le Chef, look how much room you had to add with. Much bigger. So the whole sensibility about safety has definitely evolved. So what I'm inclined to do is just get in the habit of going like this to add stuff in like that, and then just put it back on. Because it can be in an on position, you can take it off and it turns off. You see, you don't have to turn it off. And then putting the top back on turns it back on. Similar to this. You can put stuff in, and then you can go again, and then you can put stuff in. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. So either way, I really want to chop something, just for fun. Wouldn't it be fun to chop something?
Yeah.
Let's chop potatoes, right? Now that's cool. What am I going to do with all this? I'm going to have to... That is really nifty. That's nifty. That's fast. This is going to help with bulk preparation for a lot of things. I can see doing apples like that. I can see doing beets like that. You know? So, we're pretty psyched. I better figure out what I'm going to do with that. Starch. Carpet. Alright people, thank you. Next appliance in our little land of appliances that we have here. We have a whole bunch of appliances in this house, and this is a serious upgrade from this guy. I don't know if it's going to fit under the counter. Let's try that. It's a little side by side. Looks like it's going to fit under the counter. Alright. Hey, this is Greg with Renewal Fast. We're going to do an unboxing of a new appliance for our vegetable, fruit, and raw kitchen that we're working on. I have to show you the old one we're replacing. This is our old Sunbeam, what is it called? Le Chef food processor. This was Michelle's mom's, and growing up, this thing is probably from the 70s or early 80s. It's a pretty good machine. I don't know what size this is, but I don't think it's a 14 cup. But it's a pretty good size. The problem is the safety broke. And so I jury-rigged it, and of course the problem then is that the thing will turn on even when the cup is not on here. The whole point of a safety though is that it will only turn on when the cup is on there. And so this death blade, so the point is that